Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, my subscribers on YouTube, peeps on Facebook, everybody at House of Nerdum, and all my friends around the world who are ready for another great week of the NFL. It is week 5 time, ladies and gentlemen, but as you know, before we get to week 5, I got my recap and a little bit of awards, and unfortunately, I bet I have to pay off. For Thursday night of week 4, we had the New York Giants versus the Washington Redskins, and Eli Manning showed why he is a two-time Super Bowl champion, as the Giants would immediately rape and destroy the Redskins 45-14, and Redskins turned over the ball more times than a high school football team. Moving on to the Sunday games, my Dallas Cowboys on Sunday night would successfully defeat the New Orleans Saints 38-17, with, by the way, no turnovers by Tony Romo and Murray respectively. Also, the Green Bay Packers whooped up on the Chicago Bears 38-17. Pretty much the Packers relaxed, R-E-L-A-X, as Aaron Rodgers said, and Rodgers destroyed the Bears defense. Moving to Houston Texans, the Texans defeated the Bills 23-17 in a very close matchup. J.J. Watt's interception return TD helped the Texans get the win. Getting to the Bills later. Colts destroyed the Titans 41-17. The Colts just looked like an awesome team as usual. And in Baltimore, we had the blood and guts game. Steve Smith would get his revenge on North Carolina and help the Ravens win 38-10. The Lions would hold off a comeback miracle as they would beat the Jets 24-17, and Jets prove why the Jets are the Jets. And then in the biggest upset of the season so far, the Buccaneers, yes, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers successfully defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers 27-24 with a late rally to win the game. And I'm sure I know what all the Steelers fans were doing after that. They went to the local watering hole and got drunk. Over in London, and before I continue, I would like to apologize to all my friends who live in London because it was a terrible massacre game. The Dolphins defeated the Raiders 38-14, and we will be getting back to Oakland in a little bit. Staying with massacres, San Diego defeated Jacksonville 33-14. And Rivers had a great day. Nothing's new. And another big upset of the week, the Minnesota Vikings, without Adrian Peterson again, would successfully defeat the Atlanta Falcons 41-28. And of course, now the question is for the Vikings, is Teddy going to be healthy enough for tomorrow night's game with it being a short week? We shall see. And of course, the game that I lost the bet to, the Philadelphia Eagles, who I had predicted to win and stay undefeated, lost in San Francisco. So with that being said, the loveliness of Paris seems somehow sadly gay. The glory that was Rome is of another day. I've been terribly alone and forgotten in Manhattan. I'm going home to the city by the bay. I left my heart in San Francisco. High on the hill it calls to me, to be where little cable cars climb halfway to the stars. The morning fog may chill the air. I don't care, my love waits there in San Francisco. And there you go, I've kept my word as the bet. Niners won that game 26-21, holding the Eagles offensively to no touchdowns. As you recall, all the Eagles touchdowns came off defense and special teams. And of course, Monday night, the Kansas City Chiefs would destroy the New England Patriots 41-14. Now, before we get to week number 5 in the picks, let's talk about a few things. First thing first, Oakland has fired their head coach. They fired him Monday, right after the Monday night game. And looks like this Tony Soprano, or Spano, however you pronounce his last name, will be the interim head coach. Less than 24 hours, so yeah. Also, as many of you saw, there was a play that shouldn't have been called to by the NFL on Huhasmab. I'm not going to even pronounce his name. We all saw it. Was a long call. I just want to leave it at that. So yeah, there's that. So yeah. Yay! And of course, the biggest news coming out of, at least for the Bills anyway, they will be starting a different quarterback. And I'm not kidding. They will be starting Kyle Orton this week, it was announced. Which kind of surprised me a bit. I mean, I would have left the one in that you have now. That would have been better off to me. You know, I don't know why they are starting Kyle Orton. I know some people think he's better than EJ Manuel, but I'd rather have EJ Manuel as my starter. Sorry, that's just me in my humble opinion. As I don't look at Kyle Orton and say, ooh, he's going to win me, he's going to take me to the playoffs. EJ Manuel's still young. You should not bench him. Period. At least the Jets, to their credit, are not benching their still a young rookie quarterback. Not rookie anymore, but still a young quarterback. Alright. Okay, now time for my awards for week 4. As you know, I love doing awards every week. So let's start off with the biggest shocker. Of course, has to be, there's a lot of them. Vikings getting the upset win, the Chiefs dominating in their upset win. But no, there's only one team that gets the upset of the week award, and that goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who should have not even won that game, but won because Pittsburgh choked. And with that being said, my award for the choke team of the week and worst team of the week has to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm sorry. Yes, you could make a case for the Oakland Raiders and the Jaguars and the Redskins, but I'm sorry. When you lose to a team that you should beat, that's not a good thing. And I'm sorry. Anybody who says Tampa Bay does not the Steelers do not deserve the worst team of the week, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. Yes, I know I have friends who are Steeler fans. Hey, Becky. But, sorry, I have to call them out on this. That's a game they should have won easily. Period. And they didn't. And I guarantee you this. Everyone now is looking at that Jacksonville Jaguars Steelers game a little bit more closely now because of it. And of course the trophy for he still got it, of course, goes to Steve Smith of the Baltimore Ravens. So congratulations to all of them this week. Now, of course, as we head into week number 5, note there are 2 teams with a bye this week, the Oakland Raiders and the Miami Dolphins. So if you have any of them on your fantasy team, please remember to bench them. I doubt anyone really has a lot of the Oakland Raiders players. I unfortunately do. I do got the kicker and the running back, which the kicker's been good, but the running back has been disappointing. So moving on, let's get to the games, shall we? On Thursday night, you will see the Vikings taking on the Packers in Green Bay. Now, this is a short week for both teams, but both teams coming off very impressive wins. Now, the biggest question here, at least to me, is this. Is Teddy Bridgewater going to be able to play? And if he is, because I'm sure he's going to, how much of the ankle is a problem? Because I know the Vikings are like, oh, the ankle's fine. You can say that, but I guarantee you this. The Packers defense will be going after that ankle. Period. They're going to be ankle hunting. And I'm not kidding either. So, and Packers looked good defensively. And I just had a great game. And I got to go with Green Bay on this one. So, Travis, I finally picked Green Bay again. Yeah, I'm taking the Packers on this one, guys. I just trust Aaron Rodgers more. Don't get me wrong, Teddy looks like he can be a great quarterback, but we shall see. Next, the Bears travel to North Carolina to take on the Panthers. Both teams coming off a disappointing loss. Both teams trying to come back. Chicago, I don't know what happened to them this past week. They looked like they were a deer in the headlights, which is very upsetting because they were at home. Panthers got destroyed by Steve Smith. We all knew that was coming. A lot of us knew that Steve Smith was going to get his revenge, and he did. But this game, I'm going to take the Panthers on this one. I'm going to stay with the home team again. Granted, Panthers have a ton of injuries. That is so true. They got too many injuries to the point where they actually had to sign another running back. The problem with the Bears is the defense looked weak. And Chicago did not know where the run game was for most of that game. Because you had to play from behind. And we know with Jay Cutler, you get the good Jay Cutler, and you get the Jay Cutler that makes you want to choke him. I think we're going to see the one that's going to make people want to choke him. So I'm going to take Carolina in the banged up offense. Moving on, the Cleveland Browns will be taking on the excuse me. Cleveland Browns will be taking on the Tennessee Titans. Battle of teams with only one win, so something's got to break here. And I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns. Yes, you heard me right, folks. As many times as I make fun of this team, I am taking the Cleveland Browns to defeat the Tennessee Titans. I don't trust the Titans. They got a second-string quarterback in there. Their defense is not good. I think Cleveland gets a very good shot at winning this game and improving to getting 2 wins. Moving on to Philadelphia, it will be the same. Yeah, okay. We know when it comes to the Rams games, I have not picked them yet to win. There's a reason. They're not good. I would even think Captain Ron would yes, Captain Ron, I said your name, so congratulations, you've been sent in a video, would admit that. And Greg, I know you would as well. Rams have not been great this year. I know it's only early, but still. Eagles, yes, who did get shown weaknesses by the Niners, I think they bounce back this week. They're at home, they're against a team that's not really a threat. So I'm going to take the Eagles, and they should easily win this one. They should. If they don't, I'll be shocked. Moving on, we head to New York City, where the Falcons will be taking on the New York Giants. Giants coming off a big win over the Redskins, a division rival, and the Falcons getting their asses handed to them by the Minnesota Vikings. This was a hard pick for me, guys, because I like both quarterbacks. I'm a Cowboys fan, which probably shocks people because I like Eli. The thing is with me, it's defensively. I don't trust neither team's defense. We just saw the Giants' defense have a great game. And I like the receiving core a little better than in Atlanta. Because I do like some of the receivers for the Giants, particularly Cruz. So I'm going to take the Falcons on this one. Should be a best early game. I'm hoping for a good early game, and that. So let's hope for a good early one. Should be the best one. Moving on. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints. Now, normally I would just move right on past this and not even talk about it. But in this case, I have to. Tampa Bay coming off a big upset win. That's momentum. The Saints look like crap. Defensively, they look like crap. Offensively, they look good, but they have no defense. Their defense is probably dead last in every category at this point. And I'm taking the Saints. I know a lot of people are going to probably make fun of me for this one, but I don't really think they're going to lose at home. You got to remember, all of their 3 losses have been on the road. They're a better home team. Granted, I'm going to be honest, if they can't win on the road, they're not going to the playoffs, which would be shocking because I know a lot of people, particularly Mike Greenberg, who I'm sure every Saints fan is wanting to smack upside the head with a coconut, picked him to win the Super Bowl. Hell, I had him in the Super Bowl losing to the Colts. So yeah, I'm going to take the Saints, but would I be surprised if the Buccaneers win this one? No. Buccaneers could easily win this game with how bad the New Orleans Saints defense is. So it's a coin flip, but I have to go with the better quarterback. Moving on, in a battle of Texas, it will be the Houston Texans traveling to Dallas, taking on the Cowboys. Now, of course, you know me. I'm taking my team. I'm taking the Cowboys We're 3-1 right now. That I feel pretty good about that. I'm happy about that. Granted, unfortunately, as somebody pointed out, all wins against a bad Titans team, a Rams team we should have beat easily, and a Saints team who are worse than them. Well, to be honest, the Saints sucks when everybody thought they were going to be good. Now, the Cowboys can win this game. If you paid attention to the game against the Saints, they can win. If they do what they've been doing, running the ball, and not making mental mistakes. As you saw, Tony Romo did not throw an interception in the last game. Granted, with the Texans, they got a great defense, and there's no lie. J.J. Watt is a beast. As a matter of fact, he leads the team in touchdowns, which is shocking. Dallas defensively should be okay. I don't trust the Texans quarterback. He is a journeyman quarterback. Really hasn't had a lot of success. But keep an eye on him, though, anyway. He does have two good targets in Johnson and Foster. And, of course, when we're on offense, the offensive line, for the love of God, keep an eye on J.J. Watt. Oh, we're in trouble. But Cowboys are my pick. Moving on. By the way, that should also be a good game. Next, we're heading to Detroit as I'm taking the Lions on this one, guys. They got one of the top five defenses in the league. I think the number one. Bills are starting Kyle Orton. I don't agree with that. Lions win this game. Sorry, Buffalo. I gotta go with the Lions. I don't trust Kyle Orton. I didn't trust him when he played for Dallas. So yeah. Moving on to Indianapolis, where we have a rivalry game. The Baltimore Ravens will be taking on the Colts. And yes, this is a rivalry game. People got to remember the Colts used to be in Baltimore. People forget that. Should be a great matchup, heated rival. And I'm taking the Ravens. I want to take Andrew Luck here. I love Andrew Luck. He's one of my favorite young quarterbacks from the draft with 3. I love Andrew Luck. I think he's going to win a Super Bowl. You know, I think a lot of people didn't think he was going to be able to fill the shoes of Peyton Manning, but he did. You know, just like Aaron Rodgers did in Green Bay when he was able to nicely fit the shoes of Brett Favre. Ravens, though, I have them winning for this reason. They're coming off a big win. And I mean a big one. So are the Colts, but then you got to remember the Colts beat the Titans. Now, Colts can still win this game. I'm not saying the Ravens are going to win this one outright. I think it's going to be a very close matchup and another good game early on Sunday. I'm hoping for a great game. You know, defensively they look about even, offensively about even. So it's really going to be a good man. I wouldn't be surprised if this game's won because of a last-minute field goal. So I'm hoping for a great game. And good luck to both of them. I think it's going to be the best matchup of the week. Right here. This is the best matchup. I think we could see this in the playoffs. Moving on. The Pittsburgh Steelers travel to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Alright. Now, I've been hating on Pittsburgh pretty bad this week since the loss, and been making fun of them, saying, how in the blue hell do you lose to Tampa Bay? That was a joke. You're pathetic. You should forfeit the rest of your season. And I don't know what's happening there. You know what I'm saying? They had a chance to end the game. All they had to do was get a first down. And they didn't do it. They ran. I think they ran on all 3 plays, didn't they? Or at least try to pass and the clock stopped. Yeah, that was stupid. And defensively, they're terrible. The one win is against Cleveland, and that was a fluke. And you can make the case where Pittsburgh could be 0-4. And I'm not kidding. With that being said, and I'm sure a lot of people may be taking Pittsburgh here, I'm taking Jacksonville. This is my upset pick. I'm taking the Jaguars at home to defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't trust the Steelers anymore, which is unfortunate because I could have said years ago I could trust them because they had that great defense. But now the Steelers look terrible, which is good if you're Cincinnati, Cleveland, or Baltimore. But if you're a Steelers fan, which again I know a lot of my friends are, it's not a good thing. So I'm taking Jacksonville in the upset here, guys. Moving on to the late games on Sunday. it would be the Arizona Cardinals, who are undefeated. We'll be taking on the Denver Broncos. I'm taking the Broncos on this one. Arizona has a great defense, and the offense have been doing very well. I just think Denver's not going to lose at home, and particularly after coming off that disappointing loss against the Seahawks in overtime. At the penny made this great drive, and then Denver's defense chokes. That's pretty much what it was first. The defense choked. But I'm taking Broncos. I think they'll bounce back this week. Alright, moving on to the game that I'm dreading now. Particularly pretty much because whichever team wins, if it's the Chiefs and I didn't pick them, Captain Ron would have gone on my case again. Like he did with the Kansas City Royals last night. And by the way, Royals, congratulations on defeating the Oakland A's. You got me. If I don't pick the 49ers and they win, my buddy Dave Paul is going to get on me. So either way, I'm going to have somebody hating me. So I had to look at this game very closely. And what it comes down to me is two things. It's a revenge game and quarterbacks. And as much as everyone loves Kaepernick, I like Alex Smith better. Yeah, I know Alex Smith doesn't put up the yards or stuff that everyone else does. But nobody gets you. He gets you wins. And a lot of people didn't like him in San Francisco, which I don't know why. When Kaepernick took over the team and Alex Smith was gone, he went to the Kansas City Chiefs. Him and Andy Reid, look what they did. They got the Chiefs to the playoffs. Granted, they didn't do much, but still, they got to the playoffs. And the Niners, to their credit, they were able to successfully stop the Eagles defensively. Offensively, on the other hand, unfortunately for the Niners, they looked terrible. And let's be perfectly honest. I mean, yeah, Kaepernick did good, but you weren't getting touchdowns when you could have sealed the game way earlier than having to win it with your defense twice. You could have sealed that game both times you went for the 2 field goals. Again, my opinion, should be a good matchup. Should be probably the best, probably one of the top 2 best late games of the 3. I'm taking Kansas City in this one. I think it's going to be close than a lot of other people think. So Kansas City Chiefs win this one close. Sorry, Dave. Can't pick the Niners this week. If they win, I'm sure you'll show me up and say I'm wrong again. Moving on. Oh, God, the Jets and the Chargers. I am not picking the Jets. I'm sorry. There is no way in hell I'm picking the New York Jets in this one. I'm taking San Diego. Jets look like a train wreck. And it's not Geno Smith's fault, everybody. Everybody wants to put all the blame on him. Does he deserve some of the blame? Yes. But I gotta say, most of the blame goes on the coaching staff. You could have beat Green Bay, well, had a shot to beat Green Bay, and then instead, you call a timeout that pretty much screws you over. Then this past week, everyone wants to say, oh, he kept throwing interceptions. Okay, and all that. Can somebody name me who he has to throw to? Because I can't name you any of the tight ends or receivers for the Jets. I can't. I think they got Chris Ivory as a running back, but that's the only other person I can name. And everybody wants to stop Michael Vick. Yeah, I wouldn't do that either. I would not do that. Okay. Michael Vick is in the twilight years of his career. He's not doing good. He didn't do good last year, and he hasn't really played a full season. Now, with that being said, if Vick is somehow was better than Geno Smith, I could see it, but Vick seems to be perfectly happy being the backup quarterback, sitting on the bench, and getting that paycheck. So, I'm taking San Diego on this one. Sunday night game, the Bengals travel to New England to take on the Patriots, the Patriots have lost their identity. They don't know who they are. Tom Brady looks scared Monday. Their defense looks looks like a chicken with its head cut off. And Rob Kozlowski does not look like the player we all thought he was going to be when he came back. Granted, some of this, it's the Patriots' fault because you kept getting rid of receivers Tom Brady had a core with. You know. And as much as I know a lot of people probably going to take New England at home, I take the Bengals on this one. I'm very worried for the Patriots. I still think the Patriots can win their division because the other teams are not good. Well, great. But I'm starting to think, honestly, the Patriots may not be the Super Bowl contenders that Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless were saying. So, I'm taking the Bengals. And on Monday night, it is the Seahawks traveling to Washington to take on the Redskins. I'm sure someone's going to just want to hit the dislike button because I said Redskins, but hey, that's what their name are, the Redskins. I'm taking the Seahawks on this one. Better defensively, better offensively. Redskins just look like a chicken with its head cut off again. I know I'm using that line again, but it's true. And I'm thinking we're starting to realize that maybe their head coach wasn't the best hire. Unfortunately, I don't think you're going to be stuck with him for a while. I'm going to say this right now. So, when RG3 comes back and is healthy, I guarantee you this: if the team is mathematically eliminated from the playoffs at that point, he ain't coming back to play. He's just going to sit on the bench. He might injure himself again not to play. So just as a recap, I have the Packers, Panthers, Browns, Eagles, Falcons, Saints, Cowboys, Lions, Ravens, Jaguars, Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers, Bengals, and the Seahawks getting a W this week. Let me know what you think of my picks. Do you agree or disagree, and let me know why. And until next time, this is the DLUG signing off saying have a great week, enjoy the football, enjoy the Major League Baseball playoffs, and I will see you tomorrow for my next round of the MLB playoffs. Till then, bye everybody. Woo! I'm hooked on a feeling.